Tilehurst End podcast
by Reading fans for Reading fans.
Yann, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the Tilehurst End podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you.
Good. You'd been in England for a long, long time before you joined Reading. I think probably 7 or 8 years. Playing for Leicester, and Charlton, and Bournemouth. What first attracted you to the English game?
Basically, yeah, it was like a dream to play abroad, and England was the first destination I wanted to play for. Basically, when I decided to move in England, I had two solutions. It was to play in first division in France, or going to England for like a new challenge and new culture, new football. And basically, I've been injured just at the end of the season before to move. So I had a few club interests, but the fact I was injured has been a bit difficult for me. And finally, I decided to move to Leicester.
Obviously, you played for Leicester, and then you played for Charlton, and then Bournemouth as well. And that's when the opportunity then came to play for Reading. How did that come about? Because obviously you'd won promotion with Bournemouth the previous season, but the opportunities perhaps weren't coming to you the next year.
Yeah, basically when we got promoted with Bournemouth, it was like a dream come true for me. I was like 34 or almost 35.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that's unbelievable to be promoted in Premier League at this age. Hopefully I will get a chance to play, but the fact is I've not been given a chance really. So I've played only a few minutes as a sub, but I've not been started one game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a bit of disappointment for me. But after I had a decision to take, it was like just be a sub in Premier League and not play too much.
Yeah.
And I had to think it was almost the end of my career, or it was coming soon. So I wanted to enjoy the most of it. So I decided to play and just stay in Championship or come back in Championship because I wanted to play. And at my age, I couldn't stay on the bench, for 1 or 2 years, and just to see the end of my career coming and finish on the bench. So it was a tough decision because, as I said, it was a dream come true to be in the Prem. But for me, being on the bench was not really playing in the Prem. So.
Do you know if there were many other clubs interested in you at the time, or how did Reading come up?
I remember, to be honest with you, as a family, I always take my decision not on my own, but with of course, with my wife, considering I've got kids as well.
Yeah.
So when I took the decision to move again, I said, and we said with my wife, that it will be only for a London club.
Mm-hmm.
So I had two decisions: stay at Bournemouth. It was maybe the easy decision.
Yeah.
Or if I move, I had to find a club in London. So, as you know, there was just a few like Reading, QPR, or Brentford.
Yeah.
I think that was it in the Championship. So after I had to take a decision to move there or stay in Bournemouth, and then Reading just started to say they weren't interested. So that was good for me. And I remember speaking to a few guys who knew the club, like Yann, who I played with at Bournemouth, and they said it was a great club, and this and that. So after I decided to come to Reading because I wanted to play, and I decided to go for a new challenge.
What were those first few months at the club under Brian McDermott like? I know you sort of struggled for a few goals to begin with. I think you scored 2 at Charlton, but other than that, sort of struggled to find the back of the net a little bit.
Yeah, that was difficult, to be fair. First of all, I didn't play much after my promotion because I was, as I said, always on the bench. And my confidence, my confidence as a striker was quite low because that was the biggest disappointment of my career, not being given a chance to play in the Prem. Especially after my good season when we got promoted. So I had to restart, and the team was not really good at this time. We didn't play well. It was quite direct, and we didn't create much chance. So it was not maybe the best time to arrive in that team in my position with my confidence quite low and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. But in football, one season can be really poor or difficult, and the following one you play for promotion. So
yeah, well, I was going to say because Jaap Stam came in that summer, and we'll move on to his first season in charge in just a minute. But what impact did he have in that first pre-season? Because obviously he implemented a very, very different style of play to what had come before. Was that hard to adjust to?
Not really, to be fair, because that was a philosophy I was quite close to.
Yeah,
I really liked the way he wanted to play. I mean, I know sometimes it's been a problem for the fans saying we played so a bit boring because we played from the back and we kept the ball. But you can't you can't say that. And considering we finished third in the league, we were 2 penalties away from the Premier League. You can't say we played boring or we played not great. I think we played good football, and I enjoyed the football we played. And Jaap Stam was a really good manager and a great man as well.
Did he ever speak about sort of the ambition or the goal for that first season? Obviously, because as you mentioned, no one really sort of expected the club to do quite as well as they did, finishing third. Did he ever speak about an ambition when he came in?
I personally remember because we had the individual meeting when he came. I think it was in pre-season. We started to speak with him, and I just remember talking to him, saying, "I know we've had a really bad season last season, but championship can be a weird championship because, as I said, sometimes you're good, the following season you are really bad." And I felt like there was a lot of new players as well, a new manager, so it was like a new start. And I was really ambitious because when I signed from Bournemouth, I had a few months a bit difficult, but it was maybe the time for me to get back, to my best, I would say, and be ready for a new season. And I was really ambitious because, as I say, it was close to the end of my career, so I wanted to enjoy the most of it. And I said to the manager, I wanted to play for promotion, even if it was not. You couldn't imagine we would play and finish third. But personally, I was really confident, so I said to him, I want to push for promotion and at least be in the playoffs. And at the end of the year, we get the playoffs and almost the promotion. So that was almost a perfect season.
It was really sort of in the new year that sort of the things started to click for you personally. I think you went on a fantastic run of scoring goals, ended up getting your best goal tally of your career. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I've never been. No. I can give an explanation, to be honest, but it's not only this fact, but that was the first time I played front of my home.
Okay.
I've always played like a Bournemouth, behind the striker, more as a 9.5 than a proper 9, and that was the first time I was given this role to be on my own. And I would not say not change my football, but I was a little bit more focused on scoring some goals for the team than usual, where I can be more playmaker, I would say, or work more for the team.
You've got some crucial goals as well. I think Sheffield Wednesday away and Leeds at home sort of stick out in my mind. Did you ever feel any sort of pressure to be that talisman?
No, not at all. Because when you're in confidence, you feel like you can score any time. We were ambitious in the group, but we had nothing. We were not like the big team like Newcastle or team like that.
Who were the key figures in that dressing room? Obviously, you had Paul Clement, the captain. Who else sort of stood out as the key men in that squad?
Well, I don't know. Of course, I had a big crowd because of my experience, my age. Ali was a good character as well, even if he didn't talk too much. But I mean, Baya is really trust him, and you knew he will save you sometime when you had one thing to do, he would do it. So it was different, not by the speech, but by just the way he was playing.
Yeah.
Dan was a big character as well. Danny Williams. Lots of talk, and he was the same. He was really ambitious. He didn't want to lose. So
yeah,
there were two really important men we missed the following season for sure.
Moving on to the playoffs, then obviously 1-1 away to Fulham in the first leg, and then back at the Mazdad, that 1-0 win secured by your penalty. How big a moment was that for you? I think obviously perhaps considering what had happened at Leicester as well in the playoffs a few years ago.
Yeah, that's funny because I had one promotion with Charlton and Bournemouth.
Yeah,
and I was missing something in my life. For me, I wanted to be promoted by the playoffs. Because I was thinking it can be maybe the best way to get promoted. It's to win, the final at Wembley, because that game is the biggest game you can have dream as a player when you're in Championship. So I was thinking I missed something, and I will get that. And to be fair, when I spoke to Jaap Stam, as I said in the individual meeting at the beginning of the season, I said to him, I want to be promoted by the playoff. Because that was like a dream. I couldn't say I want to finish first. Even if I could, I would have done it, of course. But I was thinking we can really get the playoffs, and I've never been promoted by the playoffs, so why not? And I really wanted that. And then when we arrived and finished third, I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. But now I have to go to Wembley. That's impossible not to go. So when we played Fulham, of course, there was big pressure on everyone, and especially for me, because that was the last chance for me to get that promotion. I was thinking that your last chance, and of course the pen at home was a big moment, and I had to take my responsibility. I was in a good form as well, so as I said, confidence is key in those moments. I think when you feel strong, and anyway, I had to take my responsibility and take the pain.
Yeah. Did it feel a bit like that squad was going a bit under the radar? I think we weren't perhaps getting as much media attention as perhaps a third place finish deserved. Was that ever felt within the squad?
No, at all, because I think this season Newcastle and Brighton were the best team.
Yeah.
And after Huddersfield played quite good football as well, a bit similar as us, playing from the back, and I think it was just if you remember at the end of the season, they played like some weird team selection just before the end of the season, like they didn't want to finish. Finish. You don't remember because they lost badly against Fulham, so that they wanted to avoid Fulham in the playoffs. But at the end, we played just each other in the final, and that was a draw, almost something you could expect from our game.
Describe your emotions at sort of full time on that Fulham game. There's a fantastic image of you running off the bench in celebration.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, it was like my dream, to play at Wembley. You dream of, playing Wembley, 80,000 people, best stadium in the country, and I would get all my family, my friends coming for that game. That was like a first victory for me. The second one was to win the final. So unfortunately we didn't. But at this time, that was like almost something. It was like the reward from the season. Yeah, you know what I mean. What I said before, I wanted to be in the playoff. Yeah, and of course in the playoff, I wanted to be in the final, and probably that was done after you get that game, which is the biggest game of course of the season and of maybe your career. But after you get to the pen, I think you do your best.
Do you have many memories of that game itself, the final? I mean, obviously it finished 0-0 and sort of sitting in the stands, so it was quite a nervous, a bit of a scrappy affair.
That's weird because I never watched back that game.
Have you not? No.
Not yet. No. It's still painful. So no, I just remember we conceded two big chances at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
When Huddersfield could have scored. And then after, I think we controlled the game quite well without creating many chances, unfortunately. I think we didn't... I'm a bit frustrated because I think that game we should have pushed a bit more to try to score.
Yeah.
And I think we were a little bit scared to concede because if I remember, we controlled the game, we had the ball, and I think we played a bit better after than Huddersfield. And I even remember there had some guys with a cramp at the end. They were really tired. And I think we should have gone for the win.
Yeah. That was the feeling that I think I got in the stands as well. Actually, I think certainly it seemed as though both teams were sort of happy to go all the way to
that's the thing, and that's my regret because I think we were on top. Physically, we were on top. They started to have cramps. I think we controlled the ball more than them. When after the few, I would say 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe at the start they were better and they had, as I said, 2 big chances. But after that, I think we controlled the game a bit better, and we were on top in the extra time as well. Yeah,
when we get to the shootout, you, Danny Williams, Liam Kelly all score your penalties, and Liam Moore and Jordan Obita that missed. I mean, I know it's a bit of a silly question, but sort of how devastating was that to take? I mean, what was the mood sort of with Liam Moore and Jordan Obita after the game?
Of course, everybody was sad, but I've been in that situation before, as you know. Yeah. When you take the pain, you have to take your responsibility. Mm-hmm. But after you have to accept you can miss. You can score, you can miss. I could have missed, and it would have been a big problem for me. But as I said, I will never. How do you say that? It's not like I've had bad feeling with Liam or Jordan Obita. It could have changed and missed. As I say, if I had been in that situation, I could have missed as well. It's just a big disappointment for everybody. It's so sad because you were 2 penalties away from Premier League. They missed first, and then it's you. It's like a crash. You're on top of the roller coaster, and then you crumble.
Yeah. That summer you ended up having hip and groin surgery. I think that would rule you out until the end of October the following season. Where did that injury stem from?
I don't know, because I could say it was a bit of fatigue due to the fact we had not many holidays.
Okay.
Of course, when you lose in the playoff final, you lose almost 3 weeks of rest.
Yeah.
And we all know the season in Championship are really, really long and tough. It's a big demand physically, mentally, when you go in the playoff as well, especially in the playoff. And you could say it was a lack of rest, maybe, I was not fresh or whatever. But the fact is my injury was an accident. Long ball, I was running fast and I jumped to do like a volley, like a diving volley or something.
Okay, yeah.
And when I landed on the pitch, my knee just get stuck in the grass. Was a bit dry, and my everything completely exploded. But that's something that could have happened at any time. I think that would not have changed anything because it was just really bad landing.
Did you not quite feel the same player after your surgery? So you struggled for goals upon your return, I think not scoring until December. Could you feel that something wasn't quite right?
I'm not I can't completely agree, even if I know what you mean. No. But of course, when you've been, especially when you are 35 or whatever.
Yeah.
When you've been injured 4 months, when you come back, you can be like match fit in a week.
Yeah.
When I came back, I remember the team was like a shambles. It was bad. The atmosphere in the team was not good. Mm-hmm. Mentality was not good. So basically, I came back not in the best. It was not the best time to come back as a striker and say, "Oh, perfect, we go and fill in the team straight away and score goals." We were struggling a lot. We didn't create much.
Yeah.
We were in a bad run, so everything was not, in the best. That was not the best way to come back after a big injury and get the confidence back straight away because we were not good. So I tried to do my best, but was really difficult and painful because after being such in a great position, playing good football, as I said, we missed some players as well, and something was broken in the team as well. So it was different.
Did sign that new contract in November 2017 to keep you at the club until 2019, I think. How did that come about? Because I know obviously the original plan was for you to retire in the summer of 2018, which obviously you did anyway, leaving anyway. But we'll come on to that in a minute. But how did that new deal come about?
The new deal, I think, was just a reward from my really good season.
Okay. Yeah.
We didn't sign it straight away because there was the playoff final, disappointment, so it was not the most important thing. But after that, I think they just felt like I deserve a new deal, or to extend my deal by 1 year. They signed a few lads as well, some big deals, 5 years or long-term deals.
John Swift and Liam Moore signed 4 and 5 year deals.
For example. So I think considering my season, there was normal. They offered me something.
Yeah.
After that, I was not sure to extend my deal, but then at the same time, I'd been injured 4 months, so it was like 4 months missed on that season. It was supposed to be the last one, so I just felt like I'm going to do one more after that one. And to be honest with you, before the injury, the season before, I played lots of games.
Yeah.
I was, as a striker, you always see a striker like coming off after 70, 75 minutes, 80 or something, and me, I stayed every time until the end. So at my age, I felt I was really fit, and I could play a few more years.
Well, I mean, it certainly felt like quite the achievement from the stands. I mean, it was great to see you playing out there every week. But you mentioned it briefly earlier, but that second season, the season after the playoff final, what do you put that sort of drop in form down to? I mean, you mentioned the departures of Ali and Danny Williams as well.
I think there's lots of explanation. The first one for me was definitely Danny Williams was gone.
Yeah,
it was a big character for us. Maybe not the best player or the most important, but a big character.
Yeah.
Ali Alabdi was the best keeper in the league this season. A really good keeper, a good lad as well. I've been injured. I was a big part of a good season. Mm-hmm. Gareth McCleary was injured. He was important as well this season. So I think if you take only these 4, you can say you missed your part of your main players from the season. We finished 3rd, so that's a big blow.
Yeah.
And after that, I think the mentality changed as well from the players. I don't know why, because maybe they get satisfied by new deals and the fact we've been 3rd and we'll be easy and we'll be and after when you start the season and you start like we did. Yeah. I think I remember going to watch a game. I think it was QPR or one of the first game of season away.
Yeah.
And I felt like we didn't play like we played before. Some players have changed their mentality. It was like obvious.
Yeah.
And when you see that, you're not surprised to see 10 games later. Yeah. You are they are struggling. And I knew at this time it would be a really tough season.
Well, I think that's what the fans thought as well. It certainly seemed like a very big mentality issue. I mean, if we conceded the goal, sort of heads dropped, I think, and we didn't look like getting back into the game. But Stam did end up getting sacked in March 2018. What were your feelings around that decision? I mean, I think it was only 1 win in 18 at the time of his departure.
That was shambles. Basically, no, but seriously, I've never seen that before. And that's something I really I couldn't accept. Sometimes we lost, and 5 minutes after, some guys were on their phones or joking in the shower. So that's something you can't accept at the professional and at the winner. If you want, if you're a competitor, you can't say, it's okay. No, it's not okay. We were struggling to win one game, we keep losing, and it was like normal, which is not normal. When you're in that situation, you need some fight, you need some you need some answer, to give something different, and nothing changed. And it was difficult because you could try to do your best to talk to the players or try to change something, but it's like you are in a negative spiral, and you can say what you want or try to do what you want, nothing changed. Mm-hmm. That was a big problem.
Paul Clement came in to replace him. How did you find him as a manager? What did he change within the group?
Who?
Paul Clement.
Paul Clement. Here we go. No. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I didn't have a great how can I say, great feeling when he came in. The way he just without saying what he said, but the first speech, the way he spoke the first time, and the way he wanted to manage, there was not something I was, to be honest with you, I had a bad feeling, because when you're in that situation, sometimes you need some fight, within the training, you need some reaction, which we didn't have before. And when he started to be a little bit hot, sometimes at training, he was not like he was not happy, because some players were like, it's not positive. We have to speak better to each other. We have to be nice. But I think sometimes you can't be nice, because we were losing, and we were, for me, just close to go down. And that's special reaction. Sometimes if you have to make some big tackle, or some man, and there was like two parts, in the team, in the squad. With the guy who were a bit of character, I wanted to, and sometimes I know you talk, you scream, you tackle, and it's not maybe nice, but I think we needed that, and the gaffer just didn't get that, and basically you could see he started to get rid of the guys who had a bit of character, maybe too much character for him, and that's something I felt like it was great, because we needed character, we needed guys who would be ready for the fight. And after, at the end of the season, I felt like it will not be. I don't think we could work together.
Okay, so was that your decision based on, obviously, to terminate the contract based on Paul Clement, or was that for you feeling yourself, or?
A bit of both, to be fair. I started to have to be fed up with some of my teammates' reaction or mentality as well.
Yeah.
Plus the new manager was in some kind of nice mentality, being nice character, being. But sometimes I think in football you need characters, and I felt like the guys like Maka or Joey Vandenberg or me, who had maybe a bit of character. He didn't like that. Like that, and. But for me, that's the guy you can go to the war with.
How do you look back on your career at Reading as a whole? Obviously, I mean, you came so close to get into the Premier League, but I suppose ultimately it ended in disappointment.
Yeah, it's disappointment, but as I say, you can always do better, but you can do worse as well. And if I look at where I come from, the problem I've had when I was young and stuff like that, I think it's quite a good one. And the most important is myself to be happy and to have enjoyed my career, which I did.
You're now back at hometown club Van, which is where you started your career. How did the opportunity to return there come about?
Basically, it's my hometown club. Yeah. Which I played for when I was 20. So I know lots of people here. And for me, it was a way to not stop playing football totally, in just one shot, like clack. Yeah. It's finished, it's over. So I still wanted to play football. I could have carried on even in the championship in England and keep playing football. But I think the way it happened, as I said, new manager, I felt like he would be a big time for me.
Yeah.
Because he had different character, and we couldn't really chill. So I felt it was maybe time for me to go home. After, as I said, I decided always with my family, and I was missing my parents. When you got kids as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was maybe time to go home for a project for the future, and playing in my hometown with my friend, my family. Start to build my new life. I think it was a good decision.
I was going to ask actually. Away from football, how do you spend your time? And I know that, am I right thinking there was a plan to go in investment banking or potentially or something else?
I don't know where that comes from. The investment banking, or I wanted to be a banker. I remember seeing that in an interview before I retired. Yeah, I was not exactly what I said before, to be honest. I said I wanted to invest in some like properties or refurbishment and stuff like that. Yeah. So which I do. I have a project to open like a big center, the pool, cryotherapy, some physios and stuff like that as well, fitness, and so that's one of my projects. And my son, who play football. I got lots of friends, I know for a long time. Yeah, and I got their kids who got the same age, which is good. So which is good for me. I see my son playing football.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you still keep an eye out for Reading's results? Obviously, what do you make of how the side's doing now? Obviously, you only left last summer, but there's been a fair amount of change since then. Paul Clement's departed as well, obviously.
Yeah, I keep following every club I've played for. Charlton, Bournemouth, maybe a little bit Leicester, because I had not the same. No, but it's not. It's a bit different, of course.
Yeah.
I've had a different time in just 1 year. I didn't play much, so it's a bit different. But the other three, I keep an eye on the result every weekend. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And that's why I left, and I decided to go home, because I knew it would be. I think that the club was not taking the right direction.
Why was that? Just through Clement's sort of style of management?
Not only. I knew it would not be. It would not be a good season with Clement, but not only him, because of the decision, but the player was given too much importance, I think. Okay. And I can see the season has started very bad, and after he's been given the sack because the result was not there, and for me that was not a surprise.
Well, I'm sure you'd be welcome back at Reading any time for a game, because I think you're held in very, very high regard by Reading fans, and I think we were all gutted for you when we couldn't quite secure the promotion for you.
Yeah, to be honest, I would be really happy to come back. As I said, I think it's good to keep in touch, and one day I would love to come back to Reading or Bournemouth or even Charlton, because that's three clubs I've had a really good time.
Fantastic, Yann. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Keep in touch.
The Tilehurst End Podcast.
By Reading fans, for Reading fans.